Okay, hello everyone. This is Devashish, and today we are going to talk about the difference between database, data warehouse, and data lake. So, database is very common. SQL database, no SQL database. SQL database means where you store your data in a form of tables. Table means rows and columns. It's structured. So, at the same time, NoSQL database, there is no structure. You put the file, you save your data, it will save somewhere in the database. So now you understand data, database, SQL database, NoSQL database. So let's go to the and why we need a database. Okay, normally when there is application where it wants to store your data, so it's a online transaction. You are doing something with the application. The application is saving the data, storing the data in the database. So that concept is called online transaction processing, OLTP, online transaction processing. That is for the database, only for the traditional databases. So now the requirement is to do the analysis of certain historic data. My database is fronting the application which is doing read write for the application online transaction. At the same time, if I write some query, mostly SQL query, which is called structured query language. So SQL query, it will fetch the data from the history and get back to me. So it's not a advised way because it may impact to the existing processing, because one thing on the database, it's also read write with the application. At the same time also it's giving history data, graphical data analysis to you. So that's also that kind of impactful job. To avoid that situation, what we need to do, like what is advised to do, is the historic data will move to another place which is called data warehouse. It will keep the history of data. It will keep the historic data. You can keep for any longer. It is having a very big storage. And how the data move from here traditional database to data warehouse, it's called ELT. Some full form you can find it in Google. Maybe I just forgot. Okay, so now the data is on data warehouse for the purpose of analysis or graphs, making graphs for on the historic data. So that is called data warehouse. If you have a SQL traditional database, so you must be make sure that you have SQL SQL data warehouse. If you have a traditional database, then you should have a NoSQL data warehouse. Now the concept, there's a new concept which is called data lake. Okay, data lake, data lake is something where you don't think about whether it's a traditional data, whether it's a SQL database, it's a NoSQL database, or it's a different files. You just put, it's a kind of dump yard. You put your SQL database files history, you can put your NoSQL history files, the history data. You can put your Excel sheet files. You can put your files, whatever you want to put, just put it inside. There are so many, there are so many softwares in the market, like Power BI, or so many things in the market which will be used for all this, to to do the analysis and everything. So data warehouse is maybe SQL or NoSQL, and data lake can be both. Database is just the front end to the application for the online transaction. That's all.